hello Pablo community. We're going to do a community Q&A. This is our first one. We have here Wei-Su, Paris, and Andy. How are you guys doing?
Not bad.
Good,
All right.
thanks.
Alright, let's get started. We're gonna start with some personal questions first. The first question is by Lime. How old are you guys? We're gonna start with Wei-Su. How old are you?
18. But
18.
I told you not to start with me.
Well, too bad. We're starting with you anyway, because you're the first one in Skype, so that's normal.
I'm 19 next month.
Alright, cool. Paris, how old are you, if you don't mind telling?
I'm 21 years old.
Alright.
Yeah.
Andy, how old are you?
I'm 17.
Alright, awesome. What motivates you to stay an admin on Powerbot?
Well, I've been staff for 2 years now, and over that time you just kind of get to know people. So it's really like the people you know that motivate you to stay with the site.
Yeah, well, I think the answer is pretty obvious for Paris, but can you please explain why you're still working with Powerbot?
And it's partially what Wei-Su said already. The people at Powerbot is what draws me to it. But then it's just the fact that you can program. I got all these different tasks going on. Get to manage a project, which is something really new for me, and it's constantly changing. So there's really no typical days or typical weeks at working at Powerbot. And it's just a combination of all those things which make it really fun and interesting to stay here.
Alright, cool. And Andy, you're fairly new as a Powerbot admin, but can you please explain why you didn't resign yet or something?
Despite all the love I'm getting,
Yeah.
it's got to be more or less the same as Paris. It's something good to put on the CV, and it's a great learning opportunity. And stuff.
Alright, cool. Alright, Paris, how do you see Powerbot in the future?
That's an interesting question because I've always tried to see Powerbot 6 months down the line. You know, any person who's running a business has to have a long-term plan, but the nature of the game is things change so rapidly. You know, a month ago we didn't expect Botany Bay would be here, and now it's here. So because of all the constant challenges, all the rapid changing nature of the whole situation, is really hard to say. But what I do know is because we got such a great team of admins, we've got such a great team of developers and script writers, and then the community is growing every month. I'm sure that we will still be here. We'll still keep going from strength to strength.
Alright. Andy, what do you think? How do you see Powerbot in the future?
I see Powerbot as being just as it is right now. Really, just the best one there is.
Yeah, we don't have much. So, would you like to add something?
Well, I don't think you can really predict the future of Powerbot because things change like on a daily or monthly basis. But a lot of people doubt the ability of Powerbot and the developers. But I think Powerbot will be here until their owners leave. So I don't think that'll change
Even
much.
beyond then, possibly. It's seen in many owners as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things that people have been always telling us since 2009, 2010. I've been hearing comments like, Powerbot is going to die soon, your RSBot is going downhill, all these kind of weird comments. But when you look at it in context and look how far we've come, it's nice to be able to prove those people wrong, and show that we're still here and we're still improving, we're still growing. In a way, we're kind of like Microsoft, I suppose, because people have been constantly saying throughout the decades that Microsoft's time is up, but they're still here. And I think that's important, thing I have to realize, and the team of admins realize, because things are changing. We can't be complacent in our efforts. We have to keep going at it, just as we have done for all this time.
Right. The next one is a pretty funny question. It's by Techno. If you could be an animal, what would you be? Why kangaroo, Wei-Su? Oh.
Because of my avatar.
What about you, Paris?
Why else?
Obviously a cat, because I spend all my time on the internet taking funny pictures of myself, which everyone loves to
Andy,
see.
what about you?
That's a difficult question. I would probably go for a dog because
Yeah,
they
lazy.
get to do nothing all day. Yeah, we
I
kind
want to
of
be a
read me there.
rhino because they
Yeah.
can fuck shit up and get away with it.
Get away with
No,
it, you get shot.
nobody wants to attack a rhino.
Well, it depends if you're in captivity or not.
Alright, this one is a rather personal question by Glasswall. Do you dislike check mob? If yes, why? Paris, can we start with you?
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, when all is said and done, he is, a talented individual, which is why he worked for Powerbot for a few months. Um, I think anyone who has spoken to him will know that he is really passionate and he really does believe in himself. Um, sometimes that's quite inspiring. A lot of the times it's quite annoying, but you know, he's an interesting character. As far as my personal feelings for him is concerned, I don't really have any. People come and go, and people do all sorts of things, to further their own interests,
Yeah.
and fair play to him for it.
Wei Su, are you really Asian? Because people are confused by your name sometimes. This question is by Sensational.
No, I'm British. My avatar is the user Shimmy Cocoa Puffs on YouTube. I don't watch his videos, they're pretty shit. I live in Cheshire, England.
Alright. Well, you guys said you want to avoid this question, but do you prefer tits or ass? This question is by Medfag, who wants to share their opinions first on this.
I'll say dicks, because you told me it earlier.
Yeah, alright. Dicks for Wei Su. Andy, what about you?
It's got to be the ass.
Yes, alright.
Just after seeing yours, Ironhide.
Of course. What do you prefer, Paris?
Oh, it has to be tits now because all the other options are taken.
Yeah.
Don't want to make them feel left out.
Exactly.
Alright, that were the personal questions. Let's start with a couple development questions now. The first one, any ATA on the script run stat page being fixed? Because currently broken. The question was by Taylor Swift.
Let's just say 2 days. And 2 days development time is anything from a week to question mark. Just leave it at that.
Fine. Next question. Jackx announced the combat evolution. How do you think it will affect us? The question was by Levong801.
Andy will probably know better. He would know better about this, but my understanding is it will only affect some scripts, and provided those scripts are, popular ones or premium ones, then the script writers will update them, within a reasonable time frame. And that's been something that's happened throughout the time of RSBot anyway. So it's not going to be anything unusual. It might, depending on the extent of the changes in the game, it might take longer than previous fixes of a similar nature, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Alright. What happens if a premium script doesn't get updated? This question is by Stalls, because Andy, some of your scripts haven't been updated for a while. What will actually happen if you don't update them? For what reason?
Is this pointed to me at
If you can
Paris?
answer, it's fine.
Well, the scripts obviously should be updated soon, but there is a warning stage before the script can be overtaken, I do believe. Is that not correct, Paris?
That is correct, yes.
So the premium scriptwriter will be given a warning. If it's not updated within a certain time frame, then it will be taken over by another competent developer.
Alright. Next question. Jackx announced in the livestream Q&A that will be pressing charges against Pablo. How will you be dealing with this? This question is by Audio Stealer. Yeah, Paris.
Well, um, I can't comment on specifics. That's something for my lawyers to look into. But what I will say is it's quite sad when a company has to go to litigation to resolve commercial disputes. If Jagex did want to contact me, they could, and I'd be happy to respond to their queries and work with them instead of working against them in the courtroom. Should it ever get to that case, but I think in the grand scheme of things, Jagex, they know what they're doing and they have their own perspective on things. It's not always correct, but let me see. What was the question anyway? How will we be dealing with this? I guess. Well, we just have to wait and see. We've done our preparations. We know the landscape of things, and it just has to come, and we'll deal with it as is.
Alright. One more development question. I'm gonna do a couple community. A new anti-bot system has been added to RuneScape called BotWatch. If it is successful, how will you be dealing with this?
Well, just as we've been dealing with everything else that's been happening in RuneScape lately, it's a question of let it come, see how it affects current scripts. When we understand the situation better, when scriptwriters understand how the system works, they will be able to develop their code to work around it, or work in such a way that it's not causing too much of an impact on genuine RS bot players. So I don't think it's something to be too stressed about. I think all our script writers understand that when they write a script, that's not the last thing that they'll be doing. They'll constantly have to update in light of these changes. So it should be okay. It should be something that we're prepared for and something that everyone knows they have to deal with.
I'm gonna do a couple community questions now. Can we expect a new team for the forums anytime soon? This question is by Boom Boom. Weisu, what do you think?
Well, we switched from VBulletin to IPB, and ultimately it was better. But the one negative we found with IPB was the lack of themes, or the lack of good themes. There's tons available, but there's none really suitable for Powerbot. There's like 3 or 4 that I like, but not everyone likes them. And I think the 2 or 3 we've currently got, I think, are probably the best options.
And what's the other one called again? Yep.
Basic.
Will some of the old IP bot features ever be re-implemented, such as post per day, stats, normal avatar system, and so on? The question is by Keep Botting.
Well, post a day is useless. It doesn't show anything at all. Stats was an external mod which broke after the 3.3 update. They updated it, but we never installed it again because, again, it's totally useless. As for the avatars, they were disabled because we found some security issues with them, and we'd rather not risk having them exposed.
I have to answer this, but how much do community admins get paid? That's the question is by Shadow.
Well, I get as much rice as I can carry home every night.
That's how much is that? Can you give an estimate about?
Well, I usually take bin liners with me and just fill them up. But
can you bring a kettle
from,
with you to help carrying it?
No, that's the one rule.
Manpower only, I see.
Yeah.
Why have the name changes per day and inbox been reduced? That question is by Azak0.
Well, name changes were set to 16 per month, which was a mistake. It was meant to be set as 2 per month, but it was set as 2 per 3 days because I missed a 0 off. So that made it 16 a month, but I've put that back to 5, which it should be, as it states on the benefits.
Well, 60 is ridiculous
and
anyway.
Yeah, there's only one user who used more than 5, and that just got confusing. As for the inbox, the limits have been put back to what they were.
Are the Powerbot Awards coming this year?
Well, we've had Powerbot Awards for the past 2 years, and each year they've been posted by a random member rather than like a staff member. So it'd be nice if someone could do that and keep the tradition up.
Fair enough. I'm gonna back to some developer questions. Let me see. Are all the randoms working right now? By Killer Matty. Well, I think like 2 of them were still broken, but of course we still need you to keep testing. If you encounter any issues, you can always post them on the forums. Yeah, but I think Jackx announced they might be removing the randoms. I'm not sure when they're going to do this. But what will happen if Timer quits Powerbot?
Harris finds another developer.
Probably.
I don't know. That's all I have to say.
Alright, fair enough.
Timer is in this for a long time. I know that because we've been talking a lot for the past 2 years, and he's just as passionate about the project as I am. And if for whatever reason he has to leave, I mean, I wish him all the best of luck with whatever he does next. But Powerbot will still go on just because of how big it is and how much people do want to get involved if they had the opportunity. So, just to summarize, if Timer does leave, it would change the whole development atmosphere on the site and in the community. But as far as the bot is concerned, things should continue as normal.
Right.
Not to really undermine what he does, though.
Let's see. Some scripts went to premium without the standard 1-month VIP trial. Why was this? Question was by Boom Boom. Who would like to elaborate that?
I guess I should. What script says this in question? I assume you're talking about scripts such as
I
the
think
Quest
like
script.
There's the ones from like
yeah, a
Nexus
few
and
Nexus
stuff.
scripts and
Most of Nexus scripts did go through a VIP stage as well, but some scripts, they lose their value if they're on the market for free for such a long time. Like, people will use them and then they'll have no longer a need for them. Plus, the VIP wasn't always implemented in the actual client itself, so at the beginning there was no possibility for a VIP stage.
that's true. Rasbug gets update but never announced what has been changed. Can you please explain why we don't do this? Like, people always have to figure out what has been changed. Why can't we make like a changelog thread or something?
We don't really bother keeping a change log because the only important things that really are going to be affecting the user base are either reversible or are available inside the open source. Or not open source, but
Yeah.
open API.
Alright.
So
Will uploading and updating scripts become easier in the future? Do you have plans of making that more user friendly, or is it good right like it is right now?
Uploading and changing scripts.
Like uploading to the SDN, I believe.
Okay, well,
it's
no,
already really simple.
exactly.
We're developing the SDN kit, which is sort of postponed now, but I don't know how much simpler than dragging, clicking overwrite, and clicking OK. I don't know
Yeah.
how hard that is.
Oh well.
I mean, the fact is the SDN is for developers to use so they can upload their scripts, and if they're a developer, they should be able to use the basic developer tools, which is an FTP client and an Java IDE, right? So,
Chekek mentioned about the possible bot nuke like cluster flutter. What are your thoughts behind this?
The next nuke, it's not really a bot nuke, but it's been misconceived as something like the previous bot nuke. However, they're moving on to behavioral profiling and aren't really touching on the subject of
Breaking.
actually making it more complicated for us to identify hooks or
Yeah.
data within the game. So it's been proved to be ineffective to a degree from the last nuke. Sure, it took us a while to get back up, but that has also given us motivation to make our updaters more resilient to those kind of changes.
That's true.
So they're taking into course action this
Alright,
time. It will require some changes, but it's nothing we shouldn't be able to.
Let's move on.
I want to ask.
Is
I
your
want to ask
response
Tammy
first?
that question. I want to ask Tammy that question that we answered before that he didn't get to answer, which is, you know, that why did admins choose to stay at Powerbot?
Because how about it appeals to some of my gaming interests, and it's a really fun experience that provides a lot of room for learning, and it's just something nice because earn more every day, provide a product that people love. If you're lucky, you make some money on the side. It's a huge playground for developers that like to get together. It's a nice community. Nice projects. It's
Yeah, no, I agree with you on all those points. Another one which you should answer as well before you go is: Do you dislike Jack Mob, and if so, why?
no, I don't like him. He's a pretty cool guy. Yeah, he has some nice values, I think. Uh, 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 I, I think people generally look down on him because of the whole owning the botting company and then turning on everyone working for Jagex. But I don't know.
At Mike.
Alright.
He's a pretty intelligent guy. I guess someone you have to get to know before you really become friends with him. I mean, he normally talks in like a derogatory sense, but I think he's
Really,
not doing that as much as normal anymore.
Yeah, and I think he has grown up quite a bit in the past year, but so have we all. The other one was
That's
I mean, where do you see RS Bot this time next year, or where do you see Powerbot in a year from now?
To be completely honest, if the current proceedings of Jake's are, like actually going to happen, I am really skeptical about the position of Harbot in coming year due to simply being a lack of demand for bots or legal complications, which I'm not sure.
Ever consider getting new pips for the forum ranks?
I've considered it, but but I mean, the only purpose is to show people what rank you are, and I don't see any point in changing stuff all the time when we've got stuff that do it
the
already.
current pips are pretty fun. Like they're nothing too special, but they're just fine. And that question was by Glasswall, by the way. Next question: Why are you cutting sponsor benefits? The question was by Skies. I would expect that was from Coma, but
Yeah. Well, I kind of covered it before. Like, name changes have been put back up to what they were supposed to be. Inbox size has been put back up. I know they're still moaning about the signatures limits, but
what are
they haven't been
what are the
changed in the
current
past year.
signature
So
limits?
they get 3 images, which can be 700 pixels by
Oh,
500.
that's quite big, I believe.
But I mean, they want 5 images at that size, which would
Yeah,
be
I
huge.
can imagine what kind of signatures you will get with 5 images. I don't know if you can answer this way, Sue, but how much profit does Powerbot make as a company let's say a month or a year?
I have no idea.
Do you mind sharing? Is it like,
That's up to Paris.
can you give like a rough estimate or something? Or is it like totally private?
Well, it's not totally private because if anyone really wanted to know, they could look us up on the company house records. But what I will say is we're not, we're not focused on commercial aspects of running a business. We're doing this because it's a project. We're all passionate about it. We all like the community and being involved with the community and producing products that millions of people are using every week and love, to purchase. Um, it's always been the case where the money is a secondary thing, and I think that's why we're so successful, because we're not making that our priority. Our priority is developing good stuff, and having a community that works and runs well. And then if money does come in, then that's just a bonus.
Alright. Wait, so we got a new rank called Assistant, but why is it so easy to get this rank? The question is by Flutter.
Well, the assistant rank was based off the 4chan janitor rank, which, I mean, it doesn't really share much with the janitor rank other than the permissions are watered down quite a lot from regular moderators. Assistants should be able to give assistance and, ensure what they're telling people to do is the correct thing. I mean, there's no real knowledge required other than how to use Google and a computer. So, I mean, that's why it's not easy to get, but it's easy to deserve it, I guess.
Well, the rank is working pretty effectively. If you look at bot support, there used to be like 16 pages constantly, and it's cut down to like 2 or 3 now. So I do believe it's like a good change to the forums. Next question. Will it be possible to get assistant rank in the future, or will it be closed forever? This question by Ryan W.
Applications will be open when current assistants resign or are dismissed, which is inevitable.
Well, I kind of explained it already, but what does the new assistant rank mean exactly? Question by Nuclear Cow.
The task of the assistant is to be able to use Google and verify the integrity of the solutions they give out. So, I mean, most of the issues with the bot are just like, I mean, they're really simple. Like, the black screen is just delete a couple of files and then reload the client. So, I mean, it's really easy to do what an assistant does.
Let's get back to a couple development question, and this one is directed to Andy. Andy, are you ever going to update your scripts? The question is by Chef Skills.
Yes, I am. I already gave one away to Felix because obviously lack of time, and as soon as I finish off the premium reviews, which Paris has asked me to do this weekend, then I shall be working on fixing the Barrows one first. I've already started rewriting the Barrows one, I've just not finished it yet.
Any ETA, or is that too soon to say?
Not really sure on an ETA yet because I've got uni still to do on the side.
Next question, it's gonna be for Paris, I guess. How did you feel when Matt Emogene called your first name on the live stream? That name is by, well, fucking RS.
Well, it was awesome. What can I say? It was quite interesting. When he did mention it, I showed a couple people that part of their video. I guess it's fine. I will probably have to speak to him on first name basis very soon anyway. But props to him for giving a shout out to Powerbot. Hope he does it again.
Right there. Alright. Are you planning to add a brake system into RSBot? Because in RSBot 2 you could set brakes after like 3 hours or something, brake for 10 minutes, and then the bot logs back in. Are any plans to re-add that feature again?
No, there isn't, and that's simply because it doesn't do anything beneficial. In terms of ban rates, it makes No difference whatsoever. In fact, some people say it actually increases your chance of getting banned. Um, and what people should be doing is, monitoring their bot usage and working out themselves, the number of hours they use it and when start and stop it throughout the day. That's something that should be left to the individual according to their own playing habits and their own timetable. It's not something the bot should do. So for that reason, it's just not going to happen.
Not to mention the fact that it can break certain scripts as well if it logs out at the wrong time or.
Yeah. Well, I always believed in breaks is banned I'm botting for like 3 or 2 years, and I've developed my own methods and when it's a good time to bot, when not. But it's like really personal experience. Yeah, you should really look for yourself how you want to bot and such. Are there restrictions for local scripts for normal users?
Because we obviously don't want people to use local scripts outside the SDN. And that's for a number of reasons. The main reason is because in the past, when there were local scripts, people used to trade scripts, without our knowledge, and those scripts were not all the time, but sometimes detrimental to their account, in terms of stealing items or damaging the computer somehow. And in the end, we just made a decision that it will all go through our system, so we can vet, we can remove anything that's considered to be malicious or unsafe for users, and that's for the purpose of making sure our users are safe and they can enjoy a good experience with the bot. So that's why the restrictions exist. It's basically just a compromise between making it, giving enough flexibility to new developers, while at the same time keeping things safe for people who would never be developing at all.
Alright. Next question is by Techno. Why did you add the tap limit or client limit?
It was added in the beginning because there were reports that people were running hundreds and hundreds of bots, and although I couldn't personally verify it myself, I decided to run an experiment by reducing the number to see if there will be complaints about it, and it turns out there was. So I lifted those restrictions in the subsequent release. I think the restrictions at the moment are, good enough because a lot of people on their hardware wouldn't be able to reach those limits anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, because the other day I found it pretty interesting. I was looking through the VIP members, and I had like some people had like 12 VIP accounts, and at that time they could all run 7 bots. You can already imagine how many bots they were running as a single person. It was like over 200 sometimes, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's certainly strange. I've tried to monitor usage habits, but there's so much data, and it's the way RSBot is being used is. Yeah, it's not something that's obvious to anyone looking, who's expecting to see a normal pattern. So it was a question of like having these restrictions and seeing what works best.
Alright, I think next question is, I don't know, we talked about it before, but when will we be able to purchase/run multiple premium scripts at once? A question by Falconer.
Well, that's an interesting question because as of a couple hours ago, you can run unlimited premium scripts on your computer at the same time. So there's no need to buy multiple licenses anymore. But that's something that might change in future, but if it does, I'll make sure to give plenty of warning ahead of time so people are aware of it. And in the end, if people aren't happy about that, then we most likely won't go ahead with it anyway.
Alright, next question. Why are you so lenient if it comes to premium scripts not/slow being updated? Maybe Andy can elaborate that.
It's kind of already been answered earlier that a warning period has to be given beforehand before anything can be done about it, for one. And I mean, in some cases scripts have already traded hands, in my case anyway, and it is an open option to a developer if they don't see themselves being able to update it to transfer it. But like to personally ask Paris to get it transferred to another author, that's open to the scriptwriter themselves. But if they don't after a certain amount of time, then they will be given a warning and the script will be forcefully transferred to a new author.
Alright, that sounds fair. Last question. When will the 6-hour login going to be fixed? Because right now a lot of people try and run scripts 24/7, but it's currently broken.
It's something that I've spoken to Timer about because he knows the specifics about this, and he tells me that it depends on the script, how the script works, and whether it's written in a way that allows the bot to stop and start off again at that same point. Some of the scripts do function with that 6-hour limit. A lot of them don't. My understanding is a lot of the free ones don't, but some of the premium ones do. So it's pretty much hit or miss. If there is a script that does work with a 6-hour limit, then just definitely post on the thread, let other people know, and then if other script writers see that people want this to be working with that issue, then it's up to them to go ahead and make those changes.
Alright. Yeah, that was everything. I want to thank you all for your time, and who knows, maybe in the future we can do more things like this.